Before we start coding in C, we need two things. We need to get a C compiler. The C compiler we're going to use is called GCC, and there's a little bit of a hitch to making sure it's installed properly, and so we're going to walk our way through that in this video. And the other thing is we need an editor to write C programs in. So we're going to download those two things in this video. Lately, one of the easiest ways to get GCC is to download this thing called CodeBlocks. So just Google download CodeBlocks and go to the website, and you're going to want to download binaries. You're going to want to download the binary files. You're going to want to make sure that you download the right file. So the one we want is the one that has the term min.gw in the title. So we want to download CodeBlocks-20.03 min.gw-setup.exe. That's the one we want to pick from that list of binaries that we could download. It'll give you a choice as to which website you can download from, FossHub or SourceForge. Here's what the download looks like for each of those websites. Personally, I've had a lot better luck with SourceForge lately. Both of them work okay, but I think SourceForge might be a little bit better in this case. And then when you get the downloaded file, you just double click on it and the installer comes up, and then you're just going to do a default install. Just say yes, accept, install, finish, etc. Just run through the installer the default way. You don't need any special features on that one. In order to check and see if GCC was installed properly, we have to go to the command prompt. And so go down to the search bar and type out CMD, and the command prompt should show up, and you just click on that app. And then up will come this little black window that you can type into. You're going to get very used to the command prompt in this series of learning how to write code. And then you're going to type out the following. You're going to type out GCC space -- version, and then it's going to say we can't find it. We don't know. You don't have that installed, even though we installed CodeBlocks and GCC's on our computer now. Can't see it. In order to make GCC work, we need to change the path of your computer, and the path is one of the environmental variables. So you have to again go down to the search bar and type out edit environmental variables, and potentially a bunch of different choices could come up. What may come up is your system's preferences page from your control panel, and you just choose advanced options because environmental variables are in there in the advanced options. You may get the choice to be able to pick directly and edit environmental variables, and then this window will come up. And on the top is your individual user path, and the bottom is the system's path. It's a horse apiece which one you change. I changed the system ones, but you can just change your own user ones. If you want to change the system environmental variables, you're going to need administrator privileges on your machine, and you may not have that. So doing your own path is probably fine for this app. So go ahead and pick path, and then edit the path. We have to find the path that GCC is in, and the path is just which folder inside a folder your program is in. The term folder and directory are interchangeable, and so normally I'll use the term directory, but in the beginning I'll probably interchange between folder and directory. They're the same thing, it turns out. So we need to find the path where GCC is, and here it is. It's in Program Files, CodeBlocks, min.gw, bin. That's where GCC is. And so we need to add that to our path in the environmental variables. So I clicked on path, and then I clicked edit, and I added the following line to it. The most important thing to note is, there's a lot of things to note, is there's a space between program and files, and that capitalization matters. Program and P and F are capitalized, M, CodeBlocks C and B are capitalized, the M and the GW are capitalized. And the other thing to make sure is that you have the backslash instead of the / on your path. Those are the most important things to do. You got to get it right, because if you don't type this out right, it's not going to work correctly. Then when you go back to the command prompt and you type out gcc space dash dash version, the actual version of CCC comes up, and then you know you did the path right. So that's how you know you did all the steps correctly. And so now the compiler is ready to go. All we need is an editor. In computer programming, there's a lot of fancy editors out there, and when you become an advanced programmer, you're going to want to use one of those really super editors. But especially in the beginning, I just use this editor called Notepad++. A lot of coders might turn their noses up at Notepad++, but holy cow, it is a really powerful tool, easy to download, and it's very useful. It can get you a long way in learning how to code for sure. So just download Notepad++. Go Google download Notepad++, and then you'll go to the Notepad++ website. There's a lot of things to download on that website, and so you just want to click on the download button below the little box there for Notepad++. Don't click on any of the other things. Then you're going to want to just do the default install. Just click yes, install, accept, etc. And there's only two little points where you have to do something. One, near the end, it's going to ask you, do you want to put a shortcut on your desktop? And I always choose yes. So click on that little square and say yes to that if you want. And then the other thing to do is to, it'll say, do you want to run Notepad++ at the end of the install process? And I say yes to that too. I want to see that it worked. When it comes up, there's this weird file, change.log in there. You can see it's just a bunch of things saying what's the latest and greatest in Notepad++. You can just click the little red X up the top there, and the file goes away. And then it just gives you an empty file, new file there with nothing in it. And so that's what Notepad++ should look like when you're done with your install process. That's it. That's all you had to do. You had to download GCC, fix the path so that your computer can find it, and then download Notepad++ as an editor. And you're ready to go.